if I had continued fighting the universe and trying to replace all of the stuff that I don't even need. Instead, I'm choosing to listen to the universe, and I'm realizing this is the greatest gift ever. For the first time, I'm realizing that I'm going to be okay without anything because I finally feel safe enough in my body to know that I'm going to be okay no matter what.
Welcome to Golden Girl, a space where we dive deep into health, healing, connection, and community. I'm your host, Becca Golden, and this podcast is all about sharing and documenting my journey. Each episode, we'll discuss topics like health and wellness, what I'm learning in therapy, work-life balance, relationships, community, and all the ways I strive for more aliveness and presence every day. Let's dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Golden Girl. You may have noticed we have a change of scenery today for this episode, and the reason for that is because I'm in an Airbnb today. And you might be asking, why are you in an Airbnb? Before I dive into today's episode, I just want to give a little disclaimer that I am very anti-toxic positivity. I am about to tell an update on a situation that honestly, on a surface level, might not sound very good because I'm about to tell you about how I have to move out of my house and throw away all of my belongings. But I truly believe that this is the most amazing thing to ever happen to me. And I say this not trying to just have toxic positivity. I truly believe that this is the best thing to ever happen to me. Like, I honestly do. And if I didn't, I would complain about it. If I thought that this was a terrible thing, I promise you I would be on this podcast telling you about how I was frustrated and how pissed I was. But that's not the case. I actually think this is the best thing to ever happen to me. So I'm excited to tell everybody about it because I feel so lucky right now. Okay. So for the last couple of years, I've been on this healing journey. I was a workaholic, and then I started having all these health symptoms that came up seemingly out of nowhere, and I couldn't figure out why it was happening. And so I went and embarked on this very deep healing journey, and it's been so beautiful. So at the beginning of my healing journey, I discovered that I had a lot of nervous system dysregulation, and I was completely dysregulated, and I didn't even know what that meant. So a lot of people listening to this, you might not really know what your nervous system is. I don't know when I found out what my nervous system was, but looking back now, I know that my nervous system was super dysregulated. And while I was going through my healing process, I really used my house as kind of my sanctuary and my fortress for healing. I was able to control all of the elements of healing when I was inside my house. I was able to make sure that I had all my supplements. I knew that I had unscented everything. I knew what type of water I had. I knew all of the things in my house I could control. And my house was my protector. It was a safe place where I knew that I could be and heal and also express myself. I went through a lot of creative processes in that house. I've built and designed all the furniture that's in the house myself, and that's really cool. And so it became this place where I was able to fully express myself, and it felt like a really safe container for me to heal my body and my nervous system and everything. When you have nervous system dysregulation, finding safety in anything is really important because if your nervous system is dysregulated, that means you don't have safety in your own body. And whatever you can find that brings you safety can be really helpful. So in episode 4, when I talk about needing to be cuddled, needing to be held, like, you're not going to be able to have cuddles all the time, and that's okay. You're also not going to be able to be home all the time, and that's okay. But for the course of my healing process, I was not able to have any safety in myself. And so the idea of being away from home was really alarming to my nervous system. And travel was really hard and stressful for me because there were just so many elements that I could not control. But I actively worked on this through trauma therapy, through acupuncture, through EFT, the tapping stuff, meditation, breath work, sound baths, all these things to try to heal my nervous system. And especially trauma therapy has helped me with this because I've learned to teach my body that it can feel safe and that it is safe to feel safety. If your body doesn't know that it's safe to feel safe, then feeling safe might feel like a threat. And that might sound kind of backwards, but if feeling safe is foreign to you, then your body might perceive it as threatening, which means that your body's never going to really feel safe anywhere because it will think that to feel any form of safety would be too vulnerable to danger. Your body might be trying to protect you, and in doing so, preventing you from feeling safety inside yourself. Or you might have found safety in self-abandonment. This is something I talk about all the time. I have a lot of fawn response, which means believing that the price of admission to any relationship is the forfeiture of your own needs, boundaries, desires, whatever else. I will self-abandon. And that just means that if it's between my own needs and someone else's needs, I'm going to abandon my own and try to accommodate their needs because that is what my body has learned is the safest option. However, over the last 2 years, I have worked really hard to teach myself and to teach my body that it is safe to have needs and it is safe to honor your own needs, even if it means disappointing someone, even if it means someone else is going to have to deal with that, even if it means it's inconvenient for someone else. I'm teaching myself that it is safe to ask for what I need and that nothing bad is going to happen to me when I do that. And that's a form of nervous system regulation for me because previously my body didn't know it was safe to have needs. So whenever I was home at my house, it felt like the safest place for me because that was the only place where I could actually honor my needs. Because anytime I went out of my house, there were all these other people around, and then I would suddenly self-abandon and accommodate everyone else around me, and I would get home and just be exhausted. And this is an important piece of context for what I'm about to share. So now, fast forward to last week, I've known that I had mold in my attic and in my master bathroom wall. And because I knew that there was mold in those areas, I was just kind of like living in the other side of my house. I was just not sleeping in the master bedroom, not using the master bathroom. I was just sleeping in the middle bedroom, and I figured it was fine. I knew that the mold was there and I knew I needed to deal with it. So as I've been going through all these steps to remediate, I had one final step, which was to have the HVAC inspected. So last week, I had an HVAC inspector come and look at my HVAC system. He looked in all the ductwork and he found that there was mold in the HVAC system and the ductwork, which means that all of the ducts were contaminated, which means that all of the stuff in my house and my whole house is contaminated. So he pretty much said, because I am so sensitive and because I've been having all these health symptoms, I should leave the house and consider throwing away all my stuff. And to be told that news was fine. It's kind of weird. It didn't even hit me what he had said until a couple days later. And I was thinking, that's kind of crazy because I used to find so much safety in my house and all my stuff. And it was not too long ago that it would have been so scary for me to imagine being away from my house for even just a couple days. If someone had told me 2 years ago that I needed to throw away all of my belongings and move out of my house immediately, I would have been panicking so hard about that and just freaking out. Truly, I would have been absolutely freaking out. And the fact that right now I'm not is a huge testament to how far I've come with my healing process and how much safety I have found inside myself. And I'm just so proud of this because at first when I heard this news, I'm like, okay, well, I can throw away all my stuff and I've built all this furniture myself and I can probably figure out a way to salvage it. And here's the list of things that I would have to replace. And we'd have to replace all the air ducts. And that means ripping out my ceilings. And I'm going through all of the logistics of this, which is really daunting and overwhelming. And then I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? I'm not listening. This is the universe telling me something. And so I just took a second and I'm like, okay, if I really just recenter for a moment and think about what the universe is trying to tell me with this. The universe is telling me this house that I've found so much safety in for the last couple of years, this sanctuary where I've been able to really have the time and the space to heal my body and my nervous system completely. Now the universe is saying, hey, guess what? Your house isn't safe for you anymore. Guess what? None of your contents are safe for you anymore. the panic that didn't happen in response to that news is really telling. The fact that I was able to receive that news and not absolutely lose my mind is so important and tells me that I need to be paying more attention. When I really think about what is the universe trying to tell me with this, why else would my house suddenly be toxic to me and all of my stuff suddenly be toxic to me if it wasn't to tell me that it's time for me to let go, that it's time for me to let go of all of it. And after coming to this realization that like, oh my God, I'm supposed to let go of all my stuff. I'm supposed to let go of the house and all the stuff that's in it. I'm not supposed to be there anymore. It made me realize that my house and all of its contents has been keeping me rooted in place. And for a while, that was exactly what I needed. That was exactly what I needed for my body to have a safe container to heal in. But now I'm realizing that I have safety in my own body. And so I don't need the safety of my house. And I was able to just find an Airbnb and leave that night. And I didn't go back for a few days. And I was like, wow, I didn't even bring that much stuff. I wore the same outfit for like a week. But like, who cares? I felt liberated. And it was the first time in a really long time that I didn't feel afraid to be away from my house for that long. And I think it's just a huge milestone in my healing journey that I don't need my house anymore. I don't need all my stuff anymore. Even though my body is still going through all sorts of turmoil from healing from the mold, I just, for the first time, I'm realizing that I'm going to be okay without anything because I finally feel safe enough in my body to know that I'm going to be okay no matter what. And that's super cool. That's something that I don't think I felt before. I know I didn't feel that before. So then I left the house right away. And now I'm in this beautiful Airbnb and it feels like such a gift. And I think if I had continued fighting the universe and trying to replace all of the stuff that I don't even need, instead, I'm choosing to listen to the universe and I'm realizing this is the greatest gift ever. Because how often do you get to just start over? Like, I don't need any of that stuff. It's just stuff. I really don't need it. And why would I need it unless I didn't feel safety inside my own body and my own nervous system? Because if you truly feel regulated and you truly feel safety in your own being, then you really don't need anything. It is amazing what regulating your nervous system can do for you. For the beginning of this process, I felt really helpless. It felt like all these things were happening to me and I didn't know how to go about it. And what changed was I decided to surrender to it instead of fighting it. I was trying to fight the mold. I'm like, okay, I'm in battle with the mold. I am the homeowner here and the mold is not going to win. It's my house and I will live in it no matter what. And I was like jumping through all these hoops to make my house more livable again. And finally, when I decided to just surrender and listen to what message it was trying to tell me, it became so clear. In a parallel universe, there could have been a version of me that found out, hey, your whole house is contaminated. All of your belongings are contaminated. You have to get rid of everything that you've ever owned and move out right away. Move out of your safe space that you created for yourself where it felt exactly like everything you ever wanted. You have to get out of there and never move back and throw away everything that you've ever owned. In a parallel universe, a version of me could hear that and just feel like, wow, my life is over. Like, wow, this has ruined everything. Wow, this is such a huge setback that I have to deal with. But instead, because of all the work that I've done on myself and on my healing, instead, this whole thing feels like the luckiest thing ever. Like, how lucky am I to be able to start from scratch? And now I'm not settled down anywhere. Now I can go anywhere for any amount of time. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have a family to take care of. Like, I can do anything. I work remote. So, like, this is amazing. This is so amazing. It feels like the universe is giving me the greatest gift of all time. And now I get to explore cool Airbnbs like this one. So that's the update on the mold situation. The other element of this is that just to clarify the actual like logistics of the mold, I don't have to throw away everything. It depends on what level of contamination I would be comfortable with. And personally, I am not comfortable with any level of contamination because I'm super, super sensitive. And so it doesn't make sense for me to live in my house again. However, I'm going to remediate the mold in my house and I'm going to have it cleaned like no one's ever known because it should be cleaned. And I'm going to get rid of almost all my stuff, except not all the furniture that I've built myself. And that's because we can clean that stuff and get it to a point where it's like 95 to 99% cleaned. And that's fine for most people, which means I can Airbnb it out. And I have a beautiful house and it'll be a beautiful place for people to stay. I just won't be one of them because I'm super sensitive. But that means that could be a source of income for me as I figure out the next steps in my path as well. So it really feels like the universe is saying like, hey, we got your back so much more than you've ever known. Not only are we giving you the gift of freedom from all of your things and freedom from being tethered down in one place, we're giving you freedom to fly and we're giving you a little bit of income to support it. The income being renters in my house and insurance paying for the mold remediation. So I feel so held. I feel so supported. I feel so free and alive and strong and grounded and so safe. I feel so protected, even though I have no belongings now. I have my car and I still own my house, but like I don't have to carry any of it with me. And it just feels like a huge gift. The gift of surrender and the gift of trusting, the gift of freedom. It really feels so freeing. And I'm really proud of myself too, because honestly, 2 years ago, if you had told me this, I would have been a wreck. I would have been an absolute mess. And I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I'm so, so good. So that's the update. I'm doing really well. I feel so lucky to be untethered and to be the free spirit that I have always been meant to be. And it feels really cool to explore this new chapter, whatever it brings. I'm also really excited to see how my health symptoms might change as I pursue other housing because I was having some pretty bad MCAS towards the end there. And now I think my MCAS is getting better. And I just got my period today, which is a great day. Please congratulate me on getting my period in the comments. This is not a congratulations because of not being pregnant. This is a congratulations because the first day of my period is a beautiful, magical day. And menstruation is a sign of vitality. So please congratulate me for having vitality and follow along, subscribe, like, share, do whatever it is that you want to do to show your support. I don't know where I'm going to be recording from next, but I hope it's a cool place like this one. I'll see you guys next time.